welcome to the Man and the Boys channel. This time just by myself. I figured I should make a video about Captain Tsubasa Original Champions because it just got its latest patch and the Season Pass 1 just ended. We got all of the players on the Season Pass 1, so I don't know if the game's gonna keep getting supported. I mean, I'm sure there will be some patches, but I don't know if there will be like a lot of more new content after this, so I figured this will be a good time to speak about the players and speak about rank these players in general, because I have a lot of fun playing this game. Even if the online is a fucking mess, playing with friends has been pretty fun, and the single player content I think is more than worth it. If you can find this game on sale, it's a really fun game, even if it's a little buggy at times. But yeah, so for this tier list, I'm gonna shoutouts to Joseph Moore for linking this tier list. He makes a lot of Captain Tsubasa content in Espanol, in Spanish. If you speak Spanish, you should totally watch him. Saludos a Joseph por todo el contenido de Captain Tsubasa que hace. So definitely check him out if you know Spanish. He is always showing up new things, talking about the events. I'm not gonna talk about all of that, but you should definitely check him out when it comes to Tsubasa content. So for my tier list, instead of using letters, I just separated it in the categories. First, we have the gods. The best of the game, the cream of the crop. You should always have at least one or two of these in your team, ideally. Here we got the great ones. These are solid players, really great, but they're not like broken like the gods are. But they're still really good at what they do. The good ones, these characters have a bit more flaws compared to these two, but they usually make it up by being not costing as much as these two categories do, and they still have like a niche, or maybe they have a dual combination with one of these other two players that are here, and that's what makes it better. You can work to make up for their lowest points. The budget players are players that they're not very good, but since there's a cost limit of how much your team can have, these are players that can fill that role pretty nicely. They can still do something for the team, even if they are not particularly good as players. I don't think these players are very good, but if you like them, you can use them. I wouldn't recommend against it, but I mean, they're not. They have something. They can enforce some stuff. The Wolf tier is just you shouldn't even bother with this unless you really need some cheap players to not go over the cost limit, or for an event maybe. So we start here with Nakayama from Atomo. I mean, out of the Atomo defenders, I think he's easily the best one. So maybe top of the Wolf tier. I don't think you should be using him, but yeah, if you need like a defender that's like less like 60 or 50 cost, I think. I mean, I guess you can put it in there. All around, I cannot debate between great and good. I think as a defender, there are defenders with better stats, but I think Oiran does have a niche that makes him great, and that is his tackle. His tackle instantly takes the ball, and you can immediately start doing an action after it. You can instantly start dribbling or instantly pass to someone else as soon as you do the tackle. There's like no ending after that. You just go. He helps a lot with transitioning from defending to offensive momentum because of that. So I think that is a quite good niche for him. And his stats are not that bad. It's just that he's a bit more offensive oriented compared to like the other defenders that just have skills literally just dedicated to defending. So I do think Orion has a great niche though. Like he's still pretty great in my opinion because of that. Ricardo Espadas, he's mid. I'm sorry. I love the guy, but uh, being a defender, being a goalkeeper that has a lot of his skills and stats allocated towards offense, it's not very good because he can't keep up with the super shots, and he just gets beaten relatively easily. Sadly, he's fun. If he had a level 2 super shot, then maybe you could try to run all the way from the pitch from your side to the other side and get a level 2 shot, and that would actually give him an edge probably, but he doesn't. So yeah, he's not that good, but I don't think he's trash. He's not off tier. Robson, stay hydrated, by the way. Robson, this is kind of hard because his stats are amazing, but his skills, they're not that good. Like his block he has like the default block animation. If he had like anything else, like Gito's block or something, I mean Isizaki or something, then, or even Alberto's block, then I think he will be great. But right now I don't think he's that good because his skills, they're not as good, but his stats are amazing. So I do think you can still use Robson in your team perfectly fine. It's just that they're one of the defenders I do think is better. I think Luciano, he's good. He's not as amazing as the other strikers, but I do think he has a solid niche with his skill that it's kind of a double-edged sword. He can get through with Spirit, or he will run out of Spirit really freaking fast, and he will not be very useful if you run out of Spirit really fast with him. So if you plan on using Luciano, definitely recommend players that have Soul Pass or that can restore his Spirit by passing, and can definitely make up for his double-edged sword nature. But that's what I think makes him a pretty good striker. It's just that he cannot be as consistent as the other strikers, and that's what I mean. Klinsmann, he actually has a decent tackle, so I'm gonna put him in budget players. He has 80 in everything. I think he's not particularly good at anything, but he's literally just a master of none. You can pretty much put him in defender or midfielder, and he should do decently well. I think he's a decent support unit. Ryan is great. I don't think he's cuts anymore after some nerfs that he had, but he's still absolutely great. His cost is a bit high, but both of his dribbles are great. One goes for offense, the other goes for technique. Honestly, both stats are pretty damn good for him. If you team him up with Blake, you can pretty much get like 40 to 50% of the Spirit from a goalkeeper every time, just by combining these two with their combo super shot. It's super broken, but I think by himself Ryan is great. He's not broken, not anymore after some of the nerfs that he had. This guy's an oof tier. Sawada is a solid budget player, especially because of his combinations with Hyuga. Yeah, if you want to use Sawada, you should definitely pair him with Hyuga. Gives them a combination pass, gives them a decent air shot that used to be broken. It's not broken anymore, but it used to be really stupid. But it's still pretty decently good if you need to finish off a keeper with low Spirit. He has a decently high technique, so you can just have him pass the ball, and that's what he does best. He's another great support budget player. Sawaki, sorry man. Chester, I think he's also a solid budget player. He serves the role well of a sort of defensive midfielder-ish who supports the team and can get some meter. So yeah, I think Chester is alright. Takasugi, I won't say he's off. He's mid. He has some decent stats, but he's not particularly great, but he's better than if you have the cost to put him in instead of some of the other defenders, then go for it. I think Takasugi fits decently, I think, compared to the trash defenders. Sorry, Machi. He has a great skill set, but that's, he teaches that great skill set to your new hero, but for himself, he doesn't have the stats to use it, sadly. I think Sola's great, really good defense. I mean, stat-wise, it's not as amazing. I mean, obviously, stat-wise, compare him to Robson, and Robson has a better stats, but Soda has an amazing tackle, decent block. You won't be seeing him blocking, but he has a great skills. Snake Lair, the Ace Killer, that serve to try to tone down the opposite enemy's biggest threats. Their Sniders, their big strikers. And I think that alone gives him a great niche, along with his tackle, to be a great defender. He's also not that expensive if you take out his super shots. Not super shot, his regular shot. He actually goes down in cost pretty big if you take some of his stuff, and he's super cost effective. Absolutely great. 11. I don't know how I feel about this guy. He definitely has a niche. He has the highest technique in the game, I believe, and he has a skill that, one of the highest or one of the highest. I'm not entirely sure, but off the top of my mind, I can't remember. But he has a pretty good skill that helps him constantly have good spirit. But his super shot can sometimes one shot the keeper because of the skill, the miracle shot chance. But I think he's just good because his tackle, you can just see it coming because he does like the lightning flash thing. You can just see it coming if he tries to tackle you. And his dribble sometimes takes so much time that by the time the animation ends, someone else catches up to you. So yeah, I mean, he has some good skills, and he can work. If you build a team around him, I think he can definitely put in the work. But I don't think he's as great as the other players. Tachibana twins, I think they're good. Obviously, they have to go together, of course. Separated, they're mid as fuck, but they're solid. Together, they can do the block, or they can do the aerial shots. The aerial shots have been super nerfed at the beginning of the game compared to the beginning of the game where they terrorized everything. But I think they still have a decent niche in being able to just cross, and you get a decent damage out of the keeper sometimes. Not every time, but you get a decent finisher, and their skills help them be better with each other. So I think they're good. I don't know this guy. Taki, is he a budget? I think he qualifies as a budget player because he's decently fast, and he has his sideliner skills help him be a decent running and cross to someone else kind of player. If you try to run with another narrow based team, like using the Tachibanas maybe, or maybe using a stronger striker, I think that gives him a niche at least to Taki, because on low budget teams, he especially can put in some work just by running around the sidelines. Tsubasa, he's one of the gods. Main character, both of his dribbles are great. His skill set is great. The ball is my friend. All of his other skills. The ball is my friend is just an amazing skill in general. Only 3 people have it, I think. So Tsubasa, what makes him so good? That fucking super shot, man. The neo drive shoot. Because it travels upwards, it's really hard to block. The other team will never block it unless Tsubasa shoots right in front of their face. But if there's no one around, then that shot is going to the goal, and that's gonna take a decent chunk out of the keeper every single time. He also has a dual combo shot with Hyuga that can do a big chunk of damage to the keepers too. And he's just really good in offense. especially with if you pair him with Misaki too. He also has the option of go for the 1-2 pass and try to break through the defenses. Tsubasa's really good. He's solid. Urabe, I think he's a solid value player too. He has some skills that buff the players that he passes to, and that I think is alone to like make him a good value player. You know, if you have the cost for it, then you should probably try Urabe. He's decent. His stats are not that amazing, but I think his skill set makes up for it. Victorine is good. He used to be mid, but I think he's been buffed enough that he can be good now. He still only has one shot, but he's so fast that he can slowly but surely wear down the keeper with his level 1 shots. If you go up close to him, like right into the face, then he can do some decent damage with his level 1 Panther shot. He also got the new skill in the event that buffed him up. So I think Victorine is in a decent place right now. He's super fast. He can get that last clutch goal when the goalkeeper has like 1 or 5% less of health. He can help break through that, and I think that gives him a nice niche. Wakabayashi said, God, especially after the nerfs to Miller, Wakabayashi has just keep rising, man. He just has his signature skill that lowers the damage of the shots when they're out of the area. It's just amazing. If you're shooting, if you try to shoot from midfield, it's not gonna do that much damage to him. He's just gonna take it. Honestly, I don't think there's much to say about Wakabayashi. He's just really amazing at what he does. He's gonna keep your goal safe. Yep, that's pretty much it. Water break. Game Wakabayashi is also made. I mean, stat-wise, Espadas is better, but I mean, if you're going for Espadas, you might as well fucking go for Wakashimasu and save some cost points, because they're both dying the second they take a level 2 super shot, more often than not. I'll put him in mid because he still has a super save, and that makes that can save your life once. And yeah, sadly he's not. I mean, he has some decent skills, but yeah, he doesn't have the stats to back it up. Sadly, I think Jin is good when it comes to like building a team, and if you don't want to like have as much of a cost, you don't want to pay for the cost of gaining Wakabayashi or one of the other super expensive keepers, and I think Gino does one of the best jobs at being able to take a shot and defending your goal at least 1 or 2 times before being taken down. And he also has that signature skill that prevents him from giving off rebounds to the other players. So I think Gino is a solid keeper, especially on like budget event teams and the like. If he had better stats, man, he set the cost of being good or great. I think G2's, some people might not agree, but I think G2's great. One of the best blocks in the game, and he might be slow, but whenever he tackles and you are successful, that takes all of your spirit, and that shit hurts sometimes, man. He just takes it all away, and it's really hard for if you can evade him, then yeah, if you can evade him in the first place, then yeah. But if you already can't run away, then you're not getting past him most of the time, because his tackles takes up so much damage. And even if you do get past him, you're still getting some of your spirit taken away because of his skill. So I do think Gito he's a great defender. Maybe not as like your only defender, because if he's only your only defender, he's gonna be too slow to catch up to the other strikers. But if you can have him supporting with Soda or someone who's faster, then or Jan, so you can definitely put Gito on your team and he can put in work. I'm sorry. He was great too. He's a great striker. He used to be broken because of his captain skill, which was basically a sure goal. Like, it will always score every single time if you put that captain skill. It's got nerfed now. It's still amazing though, but it's not like oh shit, I can just get a goal for free with this guy. It's not that good anymore. He will have some decent skills. His biggest problem is that he has relatively low technique. So charging up his shots can take a while because of his relatively low technique. So if you're gonna put in Hua, you gotta try to make him work. Maybe team him up with Misaki, who can pass his zone buff to him, or maybe someone who can just speed up, help him speed up with that, because he can hurt the keepers really bad with his shots, but it's gonna take him a while to charge those up. But I think he's still pretty fucking great, especially, and again, you pair him up with Tsubasa, that combo shot taking a huge chunk out of the keeper every single time. Ichira, some people sleep on this guy. I think he's a great budget player. His cost is really low, really low. You take out the Captain Tsubasa and stuff, and he has the Soul Pass ability, which restores spirit of those that you pass to. So that means even if he's like trash and just does nothing all game, he can just pass up to one of your defenders, one of your midfielders, one of your strikers, and restore their spirit. And that's like, that's like he basically plays like the role of a healer bot, and that's pretty amazing, honestly, especially because his shot is so low. If your team involves using defenders that use block moves like Jan or like maybe Xiao, and you want them to be in the max spirit all the time. So I think Ishida has a niche because of that ability alone. Ishizaki is also a decent budget player. His stats are nothing to talk about, but he does have a decent block move, and it alone can sometimes save you from shots that will be a sure goal. So while he's nothing to talk about, I do think having a block that has as much range as he has with the face block is just really good. And he doesn't cost that much. He's always mid. He doesn't cost a lot, but his skills are very niche. Like, you rarely ever use his skills. They don't do a lot, honestly. They don't support your team. They're mostly oriented toward air battles, but they're not really gonna do anything much with this hour. But his stat wise is better than the others, so I'll put him in mid. Jan, oh boy, my boy Jan is a god. He's one of the new characters introduced in Rise of New Champions, and man, I love this guy. Not just as a defender, but I think he's also a pretty solid character. As someone who at some point was almost done with football, but came back, and now he's like basically the shield of France. He's the big amazing defender. I love Jan. And oh boy, in-game, he does so much. He has probably one of the best, it was the best block in the game until Xiao came in, but I don't know if that's more of a counter than a block, I guess. So I think he still has, when it comes to strength, he has the best block in the game. It may not have as much range, but if you get the block, then more often than not, the shot is going to be straight up cancelled. He just stops in his strengths. His tackles are good, his skills are good, stat wise he's fast, he has great defense, and what more can you ask of a defender, man? He's just amazing. Let's have Ming and Kaiser. I might as well put all the Nelorans players here. They're decent budget players. They have their niche. They can be the fast, or they can be the supportive. When they play the role of the support with their passive skills. So Kaiser is fast. He can run on the sidelines and do what Victorino does, but that's better, I guess. So I do think they have a decent niche. Actually, Lesson Link doesn't do that much compared to these two, actually. I'm sorry, Lesson Link. Because Kaiser is fast, so he can run and just cross, and Klisman can just go in any position. And he has a decent tackle. Chaos. Man, I wish it could be better, man. Chaos is mid. I hate to say it. I really do. He has a high cost, and his stats are decent, but his skills don't do much. If he had better skills, then he will be so much better. I hope that if there's an event that gives him a skill card or something, then I think that alone will help him so much. Kals has the stats to be a decent budget player, but he doesn't have the skills to do it, and that's the tragic part. Ora, Suf, I'm sorry, but you have a great skill though. Casino is great. one of the top keepers for sure. The rhythmic save ability makes him better every time he saves. So at first he's not as good as Wakabayashi or the other ones, but if he gets to live, if you have like a decent defenders with good block abilities, then Kisinyo can easily start becoming stronger, and that helps a lot with that. That's what gives him this niche that makes him decent compared to that's what makes him unique among the other keepers. I think that's all I'm about to say about Kisinyo. Honestly, he's great. But he's not. I guess he's not as reliable as Wakabayashi, and that's what holds him back a little. But you still can't go much wrong with Kisinyo. You just have to support him a little bit, but he's still great. He can take a couple of super shots compared to Gino, who dies in like 1 or 2. For usually, I think, for the most part. Kishida, I'm sorry. I mean, he's still one of the decent ones of the Otama, but yeah. Kisugi, I'm sorry. Flyboard, this was tough. You don't see much of Flyboard, honestly. He has some great skills that nerf the opposing goalkeeper, but I think his main weakness is he doesn't have a dribble that gives him offense or power. They only give him technique. I think if he had a dribble that gave him offense or power, he will be great. Like legitimately, he has the tools for that. But I think I just take him at good because most of the time you're better off using other strikers. Even if he does help nerf the opposing goalkeeper, I think he's a bit limited in the damage that he can do to opposing keeper. That was good. He's a solid midfielder, and like Ishida or Klinsmann, his whole skill set is about supporting the team. Buffing the opponent, buffing the players with passes and the like. But unlike those, like these two, he actually has some other stuff. He has a combo pass with Carlos. He has actually, you don't want to be using the combo pass most of the time, right? Because of his Carlos skill, but if for some reason you take it off, then I guess you can use the combo pass. Or maybe just start off the combo pass and give it to Carlos and not pass it, just for the invisibility frames. So yeah, maybe you can use Leo with the 1-2 with Carlos. So I'll leave him here for sure. GeForce, please. Alright, so anyway, unlike these other two, he has some better stats, and he has more of support-oriented skills than these two. So I think that alone makes him a good player for supporting purposes. Leon Dirk, he's okay. There are better defenders if you need a defender that is better than the trash, but not like one of the gods. I think there are better options. I think, he's made. Napoleon is great. Really great striker. He has his skill set is all about getting in the area and shooting really hard. So he has a 1-2 with one of the best players in the game. So I think that alone gives him the tools that he needs to be a great player. And he's not gonna be one of the gods. I mean, I guess in a way you can say he's like a Snyder light, because he's not as strong as Snyder. But compared to Snyder, the teammate that he pairs up with is actually freaking amazing. So I think Napoleon is pretty freaking great. He packs a punch, he hits hard, his technique and speed are not bad, and that he won't hit as hard as Hyuga, but he at least can charge up his shots more consistently. So I think Napoleon's better than Hyuga now. Hold on. Yeah, now that I think about it. I mean, I'm not gonna bother ordering all of this, but yeah. Margus is Smith. If you're gonna go for a striker with only a level 1 super shot and level 1 shot, then you're better off going for the ones that are fast and can constantly get there, like Victorino. But yeah, I mean, It's okay, but there are better options. Blake is great. He's slower than Napoleon, but he hits a bit harder, and he also has a super shot with one of the other great characters in the game, which is Ryan. And their super shot combined, if Blake starts it, it can actually one-shot Keeper sometimes. It's ridiculous. He actually got nerfed. His dribble used to give him an incredible strength buff, but now it's a bit less. But yeah, Blake's still great. He hits super hard. He might not be fast, but he doesn't need to be. He packs so much of a punch. That's what makes Blake so great. He just hits really hard, man. He's the Unga man, I guess, of the game. Sorry, bro. Masuyama's fucking great too. Oh, he's one of my favorites. He's just a great all-rounder. He can defend. He can go for shots every now and then. They won't hit hard, but they again like Iran. If the keeper is like a low health, then or Victorino, if the keeper is a low health, he can get a super shot off and he can get the final hit. Yeah, and because of his skills, that shot will not drop off in power even if he shoots it from like the midfield. So yeah, he's just a great all-rounder. You can put him as defender or you can put him as a midfielder and he will do his job every single time. His skill set revolves around always having the energy, the spirit. He always has the stamina, basically. Yeah, I should use that word actually, stamina. He basically will always have stamina for what you need him to do most of the time. Misaki's good. I won't say he's not as well of an all-rounder as Masuyama. And he doesn't if he had a level 2 super shot, then yeah, I think he will be great, but he's mostly there to be a support bot for Tsubasa with the one. And yeah, just like Leo, I mean, these two both go together because they both go. Their skills set revolves around buffing your team, and they have some decent stats to not be trash, not be just like body players. They're pretty good too. They can do what they have to do. So I think Misaki is pretty good. Supporting your team, passing the zone, that buff to whoever you need to do it. It's a niche that is pretty much unique to him, pretty much. So he's not gonna be great, but you can always, if you have Tsubasa on your team, then you can't really go much wrong with using Misaki in there. If you want to buff him and buff the rest of your team, Sano, he trash. He might as well be, right? I love the guy, but yeah, no bias. Mizuki's so, I don't know how to feel about this because he is great. Wait, what am I saying? He is great. I'm stupid. Mizuki's great. It's just that he has the skill that he can only be in the field for one half of the match, because otherwise his stats get greatly nerfed. But during that half that he's, because of his heart problem, according to the lore, yeah, a guy with a heart problem is playing. Gotta love anime, right? But yeah, he can only play for one half, but during that one half he can play, he has ridiculous stats, and he can just he has a great skill set, and yeah, the skill set revolves around him just having the best stats possible in the half that he's in. So basically he's a double-edged sword, but he's a great double-edged sword. If you can make him work during the time that you can use him, then geez, you got a solid fucking unit in your team. Morisaki, if I put Wakashimasu, then I'm gonna put him here with the mid keepers. If you really need low cost, then by all means, then they just have a super save and they do what they need to do, I guess. If you put down any of these three as your keeper, then yeah, you better have got like defense or something, because they're not gonna be blocking much. But at least Morisaki has like his niche of the RNG save. He has a 20% chance to save any freaking shot, even if it will kill him. So I guess if you really want to be lucky, then you're gonna try your luck, then you can go with Morisaki. Mueller, he was nerfed, so I think he's only great now. He used to be the absolute best keeper in the game, but I think Wakayashi has taken the throne now. don't get me wrong, he's still amazing, but his cost is a bit too high, especially compared to Wakabayashi, who's a bit less cost and he's more reliable. Miller is just pretty good. He has skills that revolve around him being in high spirit as much as he can, so that he can take the shots well. He takes less damage the higher his spirit is in a way. So, but after 50% though, his reliability starts to fall off a bit compared to Wakabayashi, whose skill to take less damage from shots outside the area is penalty box is always consistent. So I guess Mueller revolves you around that, trying to keep him in as much as high spirit as possible so that he can keep taking the shots. You're the same dude, what? Okay. Maybe they confused the Otomo guys for someone else. That's pain. I might as well get done with the detrangements. Yeah, sorry Hans. If you got a super save, I will put you with the mid keepers, but you don't, I'm sorry. Alberto is one of the gods too. Amazing freaking defender. His slide comes in from the other fucking side of the pitch and it will catch you. His stats are amazing too, and he has a decent shot as well, just like Owaran, but his stats for defense are just absolutely amazing. And he also has a combined shot with Carlos. I think I might as well put him here. Carlos. If only you had a level 2 super shot. What should I do with you? Because Carlos has actually. So see, should I make an exception for him? Fuck it, I'll do it because I love Carlos so much. If you have a new hero, then Carlos is absolutely a fucking beast because he has a combo shot with your new hero or Alberto. So that's why I went from talking to. So that's why I skipped some of the players here since I'm talking about Alberto. These guys have a super shot, which is one of the I want to say top 3 or top 5 strongest in the game. If they do it together. The thing is, Carlos does not have a level 2 super shot by himself, which really limits him sometimes. But at the same time, he also has his unique skill, which is the ace. The more he dribbles, the more damage his shot does. So if you dribble past 3 or 4 players, his level 1 shot can do almost as much damage as a level 2 super shot, which is pretty freaking insane. If you get this and then you get the combo shot off with Alberto or a new hero, then that shit packs a big punch. And stat-wise, he's probably one of the best ones of the strikers. It's just that not having level 2 super shot limits him a bit, but skills and stat-wise, Carlos is great. Carlos is amazing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put him in good. At the top of good. He needs Alberto or a new hero to be great, or one of the gods. Yeah, I'm sorry, Carlos. Actually, and he also suffers from plywood syndrome in that his dribbles only increased his skill. They do not increase his offensive or his offense or the power. So I don't think that's also a thing that keeps him from being great. I guess Clyber will be the top of good. Yeah. Aoi, he's good. He's not I won't say he's amazing, but his stats are decent. He can run pretty fast. He has a level 2 super shot, even if he doesn't do that much damage because of his not that high power. Having a level 2 super shot already puts you above so much of the other people. So I think Aoi definitely has you can use Aoi if you want to. There's no problem with that, I think. Bunyak, he's great. Great defender. After he got buffed, he packs a really big punch. He takes a big chunk of your B-zone and spear whenever he gets to hit you. Just like G2, I guess. He's a better G2, I guess, in a way, because they both share like that niche of being the somewhat slower but stronger defenders. His block is also pretty good. I think he's strongest one alongside Jan, I think. But yeah. I do think actually if I say that, then that makes G2 going to good, right? Because Bunak does what he does but better. Sheesh, okay. I still think G2 is pretty good though.
But especially a pre-patch before Bunak existed, but now that Bunak exists, maybe maybe Bunak has taken Tito's place. So yeah, Sangor is pretty great. Solid midfielder, great stats. Has his shots can go in. His shots have a decent miracle chance of just skipping the goalkeeper and going in because of their very technique based. He has a solid kit, solid skills. You can really go wrong with Sangor, especially if you sometimes you just want to cheese with his super shot, having a chance to just one hit KO the goalkeeper. I know, right? Random chance. I love that too. He's great. His super shot might not be seen that good at first, but when you consider that, then he's actually pretty good. Diallo, he's like a lesser version of Victorino in that they're both really fast, but they have a decent level of super shot and they can just get in on the face of the keeper. He has a skill that buffs him after failing 3 shots, so I think that alone makes him good, even if stat-wise Victorino is a bit better. He can actually start doing some extra damage to the keeper after the first shot. Pascal's good. His skill set is also instead of like being like passively support like this too, he's like more like offensive support in that his skill set is about boosting the combo shot and just being really fast. And he has a 1-2 with Diaz. I think that's what hard carries him, honestly. He has a 1-2 with Diaz, and his combo shot with Diaz is not that weak. It's actually pretty decent. Like again, if you need to finish off a keeper with low strength and low stamina, then Pascal can do it if you have Diaz on your team. If you don't have Diaz on your team, though, then yeah, I don't think he's that pretty good. But I do think Pascal has a solid niche. Galban, he's pretty good. He has a solid niche as a defender with relatively low cost. His slide travels pretty far. His block is meh, but it's alright. And he's actually a bit faster than Gito. So again, if you have a somewhat low cost limit, then you can definitely put Galban in there. And he's actually better than Ishizaki, for example. Cheek as one. I think he's great. He's better than Gino. He's definitely one of the top four of the game, top 4 keepers. Unlike Wakabayashi, his skill set is the opposite. The closer the striker is to him, the less damage he takes, and he debuffs the opposing striker the closer they are to him. So in a way, depending on the team matchup, he can actually do better than other keepers. But most of the time, people are gonna be shooting from like the midfield or like around one third of the pitch. So as one still has great stats, his skills might not be amazing every single time, but when they do. If you find a guy who relies on getting close with their striker, then Aswan does a pretty solid job. That makes him great. Diaz may not have the strength, but that speed is so fucking good. He's just like Vitorino. He's super fast, and he actually has a level 2 super shot, which I think is what somewhat separates him from Victorino. Even if I think it got nerfed, but I'm not entirely sure. But Diaz still packs a punch. Packs a decent punch. Not that good, but he still packs a punch. And he's super fast. His dribbles, just like Tsubasa, they go for speed and technique, but they both go forward pretty fast. He can get to the keeper's face really fast. And his skill set, like Tsubasa, it helps him around dribbling and getting past the opponent's defense. And if you have Pascal, then that job is even easier because they have the 1-2 pass combination, and their combo super shot. It's better if you do it from Pascal's end rather than Diaz, but it still can do work. Diaz I think this is Diaz is hard carried by speed and the fact that he has a 2 super shot. But yeah, I don't think there's much to me to say about Diaz. He's just really great, and he's just able to get through. You know, a lot of people have kind of some trouble of getting through and actually getting to charge up their super shot. He charges up really fast because he has one of the highest techniques alongside the likes of Tsubasa or Levin. So I think that alone makes him one of the guns. I think Xiao is a great midfielder / defender. Well, he does have a niche of the broken counter shot. If you take a direct shot, then and he's in the way, he'll just bounce it back to you. And he can do a shit ton of damage depending on what shot you use. It actually scales depending on what shot the opponent team use. So he can like do like 50% to like the goalkeeper sometimes. It's just really ridiculous. And that alone, I mean, his stats are decent. His skill set helps him do the job of a defensive midfielder, but he can also jump on the offense sometimes. Xiao's just a really solid unit. Damn, how many times have I said that word? Anyway, Pepe, I'm sorry, you're mid. There are better strikers. Nakanishi, yeah, he's mid too. If you need a budget goalkeeper, then go for him, I guess. He has a super shot too, so I'd put him more somewhere, I guess. Lo and behold, one of arguably, I don't know if arguably, he's probably the best unit in the game. El Saint Pierre, Vive la France. He can do literally anything. I guess he's like the Klinsmann of drugs. He has amazing stats in every single category. He can be in any position. He can defend. He can attack. And he has a skill that lets you fill up your super bar pretty damn quick when he wins in dribbles. He's so fucking good. It's like when it comes to building teams, it's really hard to not say that you should have Pierre on literally every team if you can. He's just that good. His level 2 super shot got buffed a little bit. It used to be garbage, but now he can actually do some stuff. If you do it directly, it's actually a bit better. He has a 1-2 and a Napoleon, who's no slouch when it comes to being a good striker. And just, the things Pierre can do, man. I don't think he's being a master. You know, if this guy's a master of none, this guy's a master of everything, every single thing. Holy moly! But I'm happy because I'm happy when like the all-around guy is so fucking good. I'm not gonna say he's mid. He's just good. You think he will be better at first glance, especially when you're facing the story mode and he keeps destroying you, but in game he's alright. He has a 1-2 with Schneider, which helps them both, but again, he's actually doesn't have he's not much of a threat if he's the one shooting, I guess. And his skill set is nothing to like fanboy about. So I think Hein is still a good unit. I have to tell myself to not use that S word again. Oh boy, he's still pretty good, especially if you take him out with the other god, Schneider. Absolutely the best striker in the game, no question, no single doubt. He has the only super shot that is triple S in power. His dribbles are great. One goes for technique, the other goes for offense, which is perfect because one lets you charge up the super shot fast, the other one lets you pack a bigger punch. His skill set is amazing. It buffs his stats when you pass the ball around and it gets to him. Like it's gotten to the point where I see people in online just pass the ball around and then they get it to Schneider and he just shoots and wins. That's how ridiculous it gets sometimes. He's just amazing. The best striker in the game. No single doubt it. Ryoma Hino, he's great. He's also like Kyo in that he's so much slower. He doesn't have as much of a height. He has some more technique than Kyo, but he's still so much slow. He was a bit faster, I guess, but yeah. Ryoma, but yeah, they both pack a big freaking punch in their shots. And they're all about hitting the goalkeeper as hard as you can. But unlike Blake actually has Ryan to help him get some extra word for their money. Same with Hyuga has the extra word because of Tsubasa. And Napoleon has the extra word because of Pierre. Ryoma Hino doesn't really have a combination with anyone else. So, I mean, I still think he's a great striker and he can pack a big punch, but I think if he had a little bit of support, he will be even better. But he's still great though. I think Nita is a solid budget player. I don't think he's mid. After the little buffs to lower his cost and to give him a little extra skill card, I think Nita is a solid, decent budget player. Especially with his skill that buffs his shots. The more he fails to get the goal in, he can pack a punch by the time the third or fourth shot comes in. Yeah, decent punch. Not that high, of course, because he's Nita, but still, he's super fast. If you need him to shot, then he can shot, or if you need him to just run up and cross, then he can do that. He's like a budget version of Victorino, I guess, but yeah, he doesn't have the stats that Victorino has, but he can. I don't think he's like mid. You know, he has a niche. Whew, so that's all of them. Should I order this? I think at this point I should. That's like hard to order. Pierre is up there. Wakabayashi's up there. Snyder's up there. I think Jan is better than Tsubasa. Jan and Alberto have more worth than Tsubasa and Diaz because of their prowess as a defender. Like, I think if you have your midfielder with Ryan or someone else, then I think you can still go about your way. I think Ryan is indispensably one of the best. Miller comes after him. Blake, I think out of the strikers that I put here, he's probably the best one because of his power and because of the help he gets from Ryan. Matsuyama, honestly, he's a great all-rounder. Like I think I might put him above the other strikers because he's just that good too. He's like if this guy's like, this is like a super diet Pierre. This is like a Pierre almost Pierre, I guess. If he had a block, if Matsuyama had a block, he will be one of the gods too, I think, because of the cost efficiency. He's just he doesn't cost as much and he can do his job really well. I think these other three strikers are in the place where I wanted to be. I do think Sora and Bunak are probably better than Awaran. And Kisinyo can do well here. Misugi goes here because of his inconsistency, but his power is also great and cannot be denied. Aswan goes after him because of actually Aswan. I think Aswan. I put Aswan at bottom of grade because, like I said, you know, he can his skill set will either come into play really good or it won't come into play. And I think Sangor and Xiao good there. Xiao's a great midfielder and defensive midfielder / defender, and Sangor is a decent all-rounder too, with an emphasis on the technique-based shots. And the good tier, Clyboard is at the top of the good tier. Level 2 super shot. He can do some decent damage. It's just that if he could punch a big, if he could hit harder, he will be a bit better. He will be one of the great ones for sure. I think Gino is also here. I think I'll put Gino top, almost at the top here too, because he's one of the better cost-effective goalkeepers that are not like they're not mid as fuck. He can actually take one hit or maybe two. Carlos, I do think Lee or Misaki are more to do more for your team than Carlos. But compared to these others, I do think Carlos can do more than Levin or these other two. I think Robson will go here. Like I said, so amazing stats, but his toolkit If he had a Peltuki, he will be one of the great defenders, or maybe even a god defender. Only said. Levin has a solid niche. Luciano is a double-edged sword, but he's still pretty good. Out of the strikers here, these two function pretty similarly. Guido, Guido is a solid defender, but he suffers from being slow. The Tachibana twins, they do what they do. Aoi, I'll put Aoi after Hein. Hein is better than this, of course. Hein is better than this too. Absolutely. Actually, yeah, I should put Hein. I should put Hein. I think after Diallo. He's pretty. I think he can still afford. He can still help the team, but not as much as his other two. Budget players. I think I'm gonna play the bias here and play Ishida because his cost is just ridiculous though. And same with Ishizaki. Ishizaki and Klinsmann. I think these three are pretty damn cost effective for what they do. Sawada comes after, and I think Chester is at the bottom because but he can do things. I don't think he does. His cost is a little bit higher than these others. So I think that's how I will put them together. Urabe after the Sawada because of the supporting midfielder. And these three are the guys who run fast and try to get crosses. Yeah. The mid tier. I think I put Kashimasa at the top because his cost is not that high. And sometimes he can take a super shot if let's say from Snyder, if he goes for if he gets the technique dribble instead of the offense dribble, he can actually take one shot, I think, from Snyder. I believe. I could be wrong though. But yeah. I think I'm pretty sure on one of the events Kashimasa took one super shot from Snyder because he went for the technique dribble. After this, I think I'll put Takasugi on the same link. Pepe's just there's just not much of a point in him. Yeah. Margus, not that much of a point in him. These two defenders, they can go here. Kals, I think Kals doesn't offer as much as these of the other keepers. And Margus, actually he doesn't offer more than Margus. Yeah. And the off tier, I'm not even gonna bother to order on this one. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is my Captain Tsubasa tier list for the new patch and the end of season pass 1 on April. Woo, that was a long one. But I think I'm pretty happy with how this came out. I love this game, even if with this freaking bajillion flaws that it has. I hope there is a sequel that improves on this. You know, less bugs, more balanced gameplay. But you know, and yeah, with extra story modes that cover the rest of the mangas slash anime. But yeah, I'm pretty happy, especially with the original new players, the USA team. I love Ryan and Blake. They're just some of my favorite. They easily became one of my new favorite characters. I love Jan. I love Kisinyo too. Having a goalkeeper that says, "Hey, I want to take all of the super shots from everyone." You know, that shit's just refreshing. Aswan's great. He has swag. I don't know what other no other word came to mind. I'm sorry. He just has the swag. Who else was new? Luciano is pretty fun because he doesn't want to work with his teammates, but he learns his lesson. Always, you know, you're gonna have one plate like that in the story for sure. Who else was new? Two guys that new champions. Sangor's great. He's the shy boy who thinks he can't make it, but turns out he's actually pretty freaking good. Same with Diallo's his best friend who just tells him, "Hey yo, man up bro, you can do it." I love the dynamic with these two. This tier list really helped me remember why I love this game so much. I really hope they make a better sequel. Alright, thanks everyone for watching, and tell me in the comments what do you think of this tier list. Do you agree? What would you change? And how well have these people done for you? How these players done for you? Thanks for watching, and take care.